It's the business of
life,
the business of
love,
the business of
health,
the business of
wealth.
It's the business of
Principle,
the business of
media,
the business of
conscious
the
black
business of
business
it's the business
network.
of
Life,
the business of
love,
the business of
health,
the business of
wealth.
It's the business of
Principle,
the business of
media,
the business of
conscious
the
black
business of
business network. It's the Conscious Black Business Network, the radio show brought to you by a radio flow. Call, chat, listen, and learn. Today you will know. Today we resume to stay tuned to CBBN at 9 p.m. Minister Ausar with Brother Sankofa, giving what you demand most of. Propaganda that's proper. Network and let's work together to live
It's
free
the
and
business
prosper.
of
Life,
the business of
love,
the business of
health,
the business of
wealth.
It's the business of
Principle,
the business of
media,
the business of
conscious
the
black
business of
business
the business
network.
of
Life,
the business of
love,
the business of the business of
wealth.
It's the business of
Principle,
the business of
media,
the business of
conscious
the
black
business of
business network.
So peace and power, family. This is Brother Marcus Sankofa Nix. We are working some things out. Hopefully, more people can be able to hear my voice at this time, because we definitely want to make sure that nobody is missing out on the powerful session, the powerful show that we have in store for you this evening. Definitely, family, sit back, relax, enjoy all that we have in store. We have a lot of things in store for today. Just some things to be mindful of. This is the Conscious Black Business Network radio show. So, if you're tuning in, you could, if you plan to tune in, you could go to consciousblackbusiness.com, and you can go to the top right tab. You can click on the blog there, and it'll take you to the show. You can click on the link, and it'll connect you with
If you'd like to ask a question, please. Your request has been received.
a comment, a remark, or anything that you care to share.
You may now ask your question.
You can join in the discussion and the conversation. We definitely have a wonderful show. Shout outs to Minister Ausar, the psychosocial spiritual entrepreneur that he is. And we definitely are in for a treat today. We're in for a powerful treat because we have a guest who is one who has an entrepreneurial spirit himself, and his entrepreneurial spirit has taken him all across the world. His entrepreneurial spirit has put him in a position to be an economic asset to our people. This brother here is the founder and president of the Harvest Institute, which is a think tank whose mission is social and economic reform of Black people. He's a political strategist, an economic developer, an author, a businessman, an educator, an economic consultant, a real estate developer, and an entrepreneur. And I'm sure many of you are aware, but if you're not, he authored the books Black Labor, White Wealth, Powernomics, the plan to empower Black America, and 30 Little Secrets 1 and 2. He's had an appearance, a couple of appearances on Hidden Colors, which is actually a documentary that was produced by a few of our scholars and those in the culturally conscious community, so to speak. But nevertheless, this brother here has a heart for his people. He's a Baba, and he's definitely one that we can look to and learn much from in terms of being able to empower ourselves. So at this time, Dr. Claud Anderson, are you on? Can you hear me, sir? Can you hear me, Dr. Anderson?
Hold on 1 second, okay? Hang on.
Sure thing.
Hello?
Yes, Dr. Anderson. How are you, sir? Welcome to the Conscious Black Business Network radio show. Glad to have you on.
Well, glad to be on with you. This is Marcus.
Yes, this is Marcus Sankofa Nix. Yes,
Oh.
and this is me, and you rocking with the Conscious Black Business Network radio show. Yes.
Oh, okay. I'm glad to be with you this afternoon. I guess it's evening now.
Yes, absolutely.
What are you Black people doing up so late at night?
Working.
Well, Absolutely, we're working, and there's a lot of work to be done. So when you have that entrepreneurial spirit, as we speak about on our show, then then the concept of time and space can disappear. So there's a lot of work to be done.
That's the right attitude. You got the right attitude. Okay, what do you want to
Absolutely,
talk about this?
absolutely.
What do you want to talk about this evening?
Well, I have definitely, been privileged and honored to go through all of your works, all of your books, and I'm sure many who are tuning in, listening, wherever they may be, have also been able to read your work as well too, and learn a lot from what you laid down for us. So, the thing I wanted to ask you was, looking at the state of Black America in 2016. You know, what is the economic state of Black America, and what do we need to do to take things to another level? I know in Powernomics and in Black Labor, White Wealth, you had mentioned, kind of you foresaw where we were at economically and where we were heading. But give us an update, Dr. Anderson. Where are we in 2016 economically as a people, and what do we need to do to get out of our situation? So if you could speak to that,
Hey,
that would be great.
Brother Sankofa,
Okay, thank you.
Dr.
Well,
Anderson?
yeah, hello.
Yeah, Doctor. This is Brother Minister Dennis Ausar Winkler. Before you go there, I wanted to add something to that question that Brother Sankofa left out, because we spoke about this, because I think it's important, because I know the book and a lot of people talk about it. I think it was 2012 or something that you gave your prediction that if we don't get our things together before then we'll be a permanent underclass. Could you also hit on that as well?
Okay, well, let me start with that. First of all, I've said to Black folk, I guess for the last about 30, almost 40 years now, predicting what was going to happen to them. And what I told you back in about 1970, that was about the year 2000, that you would get kicked out of being a second-class citizen, you become a third-class citizen, because of the massive unending influx of immigrants into this country, and Hispanics have gotten together and combined all of their political and economic resources and met out in Kansas City and came up with what they call a Hispanic resolution, which said that by the year 2000 they were going to supplant Black folk and make Black folk third-class citizens, and they were going to kick you out of being the second-class citizen. Your day was over. You had it. And then once they become second-class citizens, you become third-class citizens. Nothing would get to Black folk unless it passed through them with their approval. And then again, and then also by the year 2025, that Arabs and Asians come in this country would come past you, and you'd be kicked out of being third-class citizens, you become fourth-class citizens. And so anybody got past a third-grade education would know that if you got absolutely nothing after being second-class citizens for 500 years, please use your creative imagination and try to guess what you're going to get when you become fourth-class citizens. You're now on your way to become fourth-class citizens. And so by the year 2013, you would become a permanent underclass. That means an underclass means those individuals that outgroup by the pure nature of their social economic deficit and powerlessness would become a permanent underclass. A permanent underclass means a group of individuals who are going to be living as beggars or criminals for the rest of their existence. And that's where you are. So in proportional comparative terms, you're about where you were in 1860 on the eve of the Civil War. You own and control practically nothing in a capitalist society. And in this society, what determines your welfare, what determines your future, what determines your opportunities is not civil rights and social integration. It's how much you own and control, what you own and control. And right now, Black folk are locked into the lowest level of a real-life monopoly game, where you've been socially engineered to the bottom of the barrel. And that came out, and that's locked into a box called the United States Constitution, which says that you would basically be locked in there forever, and they appointed the United States Supreme Court to make sure you never got out of it. That's why nothing has changed for you. And unless we get back and start understanding our dilemma, we'll never make it. And let me go back for a second, but tell you why you won't make it. Not only you don't own and control anything, because first of all, we don't practice capitalism. Capitalism is based on a very simple premise. It's what you own and control. Up until about 1506, after Columbus supposedly discovered America, they created, and mercantilism was the favorite enacting principle for economics around the world. They started commercializing the enslavement of Black folk, and when that began, they switched from being mercantilism to capitalism. Capitalism means what you own and control. It means owning the land, the tools, the resources, and using other people's labor to enrich yourselves. And Black folk have never understood that. And W.B. Du Bois defined it in 1915. He says it's like having 3 to 4 years of corn. You eat, save, and sell, and save, and take the third, fourth year, and use it for planning for next year's harvest. In neither one of those definitions, whether it's the 1506 definition of capitalism or W.B. Du Bois' definition of capitalism, I said absolutely nothing about social rights, social integration, or civil rights. It's what we own and control. We own and control 1/2 of 1% of anything of value. And we live in the richest nation on earth. And we're exactly where we were in 1860. And what that means is that we came out of slavery and came out of social immigration back in 1960s, still having 1/2 of 1% of the wealth. And that meant that white people in this country right now have, average white person has 3,500 times more wealth and power than the average black person, 3,500 times more. And if you want to switch it into genders, that means for a black woman, for every dollar that a white woman has to run a household, the black woman has 2 cents. Now, how in the world are you going to compete? But let me be more graphic than that, so you want to find out what your dilemma is that we've never understood the importance of land. It is impossible, absolutely impossible, whether it's theoretical terms or in practical terms. It is absolutely impossible for us to compete and survive the way we are. It can't be done. You don't own enough land. Land is the premier thing to own. And what they've used in this society, going back to the Constitution when they locked you in, they set up a ranking order of dissemination of resources in this country. And the United States Constitution was approved in 1789. The next year, in 1790, the first thing that the Congress did was to pass a naturalization immigration law that says this will be a white country, and it's to be for white people only. And we'll have a ranking descending order of acceptability. And it'd be going from the highest, like for white, yellow, brown, black, going to the darkest. And then that'll be for immigrants only. And they advertise all around the world for people to come into this country and get resources. And that's what you all call the American dream. But nobody's ever sat down and explained the American dream to black folk. Everybody talks about it every day long, from Obama to the Fox channel, about the American dream. Nobody understands what the American dream was. The American dream was to come into this country as being advertised by the founding documents, the Constitution, come into this country and get access to free Indian land and free black labor. That is the American dream. And land was basically useless, free. And for the American dream is 90% black labor and 10% land. And as a result of that, they invited everybody to come to America and get free land. And that meant that people started off with people like George Washington. George Washington got over 100,000 acres of free land. Got over 100,000 acres of free land. Patrick Henry, who said, "Give me liberty and give me death," he picked up over 65,000 acres of free land. Every white person that came to the United States was entitled to 640 acres of free land as soon as he touched the ground. And for every slave, he only got about another 150 acres of free land. And in the last land rush, they going into across the Mississippi River into Missouri, and then developed in the West. In the last go and land rush, they gave whites over 2 million acres of free land in 24 hours. They gave every railroad out, about 7 different railroads. They gave them 6 miles of land, free land on both sides of the railroad, all across the United States, both north and south, east and west. And all those developers turned around and sold that land within about 30 years for $40 an acre. And so, in the bottom line, what does that mean as an impact for black folk being socially engineered into a dilemma? Is that this nation has given away over 1 billion, not million, but 1 billion acres of free land to immigrants coming into this country. Now, that has a negative impact since blacks are the only non-immigrants in the country. They never got the free land because they've never classified as immigrants. And so whites and other groups picked up 1 billion acres of land, and all the minerals, all the gold, the silver, the chrome, the bauxite, the land, the trees, everything of value was picked up by immigrants coming to this country. And that's why they came out there. We're an immigrant nation. And black folk were only non-immigrants. Now that means that whites now own the land grants alone. They own 100%, almost 100% of all the land, the businesses, the income, the wealth, the power, the resources, and controls of all levels of government. And out of that, almost 100% of everything they own, since blacks got 1/2 of 1% in 1860, 87% of that now is frozen inside the white society. It's frozen in stocks, bonds, culture, businesses, loans, mortgages, and endowments. And so that means that only 13% is up for grabs. Blacks have got to get about the business of practicing powernomics and try to get back some of that land and resources so they can survive and compete. There's no way on earth that they can survive talking about civil rights and social integration where they own nothing in a world where everybody's fighting to own land. That's what's going on in the Middle East, to own resources. So by the year 2013, what I say, that if you don't get your act together and begin to go back and through reparations or whatever technique you use, acquire and demand that you get access to some resources so that you can be independent and competitive to compete with all these people, you won't make it. And yet you got the president right now bringing in more and more immigrants, going to try to bring in another 250,000 Syrians in here the next year. And they're going to bring in about another 250,000 Hispanics into the United States. And then they're going to give amnesty to the 14 to 20 million here. Now, how are black folk going to compete? Your dilemma is desperate. Your poverty rate is somewhere around 37 to 38% of blacks right now beneath the poverty line. You got about another 37% that's right at the border of being impoverished and beneath the poverty. We're going to lose a little bit of furniture. Got 66%, or 2/3 of all the blacks in America will be in poverty. You got an unemployment rate that's over 50%. And contrary to what you hear from Obama and everybody else, is that the unemployment rate is just twice whites. It's only 16%. That's a lie. The unemployment rate when Obama ran for office, that unemployment rate nationally was 35% back in 2006. That means 35% of all the blacks in America, again, were unemployed. Now, when the unemployment rate back in the Great Depression hit 25%, this nation mobilized every resource they had to bring the unemployment rate for whites down from 25%. And yet here's black unemployment rate back in 2006 at 35%. Nobody cared. And then, but that was 35% nationally. But in Detroit, Michigan, that's impoverished and bankrupt. In Detroit, Michigan, the unemployment rate that was 48%. In Pittsburgh, and then in Pittsburgh, 48%.
So
and,
Dr.
And in Baltimore, where you are, it was 49%. And in New York, it's 52%. How in the world are you going to compete? You're in a desperate situation.
So Dr. Anderson, there's a lot of things that you have mentioned, and definitely, we appreciate the passion that you come with, and you've been in the field, giving this message for quite an extensive time, and I know that even here where we are in Baltimore, there's as many businesses, many institutions, many things that we do own, and we definitely we may not be where we may want to be, but there are some businesses we have, and there are some stores and some franchises and enterprises that we do have, and we know, Dr. Anderson, that when it comes to money, our people, we definitely have the money and the potential, but what is that missing link, Dr. Anderson? Because I can name plenty of black businesses that are operating and that are going and everything, but what is that missing link that we need to be able to take things to a whole nother level? What would you say to that, Dr. Anderson?
Well, first of all, we need to establish either physical communities or a sense of community. And you're in Baltimore. See, in Baltimore, yes, you're there. But those are what you got in Baltimore. You don't have any black communities in Baltimore. What you got are black neighborhoods in Baltimore. They don't have a sufficient amount of businesses to be even equated or classified as a community. To have a community, you must have three things that are cardinally important and absolutely in demand. You must have a wholly independent economic structure that can provide jobs, business, products, services, and goods, and then a tax base for your own people. We do not have a black community in the entire United States, not only Baltimore, just in the entire United States, not one single solitary community. All we got are black neighborhoods. A black neighborhood is where you eat and sleep. That's all you got. And black neighborhood is like a bucket with a hole in. The water you pour it in, the water runs out. The second thing to have a community in Baltimore and place else, you must not only have a wholly independent economic structure that can provide jobs, business, and cures and services for your own people, I don't mean what other people got businesses in your neighborhood. That's not a positive. That's a negative. They're creating a balance of trade deficit in your community. They're taking money out. They're not bringing anything in. They're delivering anything to you except the products and services and goods they're selling to you. But so the second thing you must have to have a community, you must have a code of conduct that is institutionally based, where you got the family, the community, the business, and the religious organizations teaching your people how to buy and support and take care of your own people. A code, and buy from them first before you buy from anyone else. It's a code of conduct. We don't have a code of conduct in America that tells us how and teaches us and instructs us how to take care and buy from and support our own people. We got a code of conduct that says go for yourself and do your own thing. We're the only group, negative group, minority group in America that believes in individualism. All other groups believe in groupism, taking care of their own, buying from their own. Jews, Arabs, Asian, American Indians, Koreans, Hispanics, they're all going to buy from their own people first and foremost. We're the only people that take satisfaction in seeing things upside down and backwards and going in Baltimore and any place else feeling comfortable going to a store and not practicing group economics. How in the world can we survive in not only the United States but Baltimore if your money is not creating wealth for you? It's not you're not practicing group economics. Typically, the money is supposed to bounce, Marcus, 7 to 8 times, 6 to 7 times before it leaves a black hand in Baltimore and place else. White money bounces 8 to 12 times. Hispanic money bounces 6 to 7 times. Arab and Asian money bounces 13 to 14 times. Jewish money bounces 18 times. Black money doesn't bounce once. Those few businesses you got down in Baltimore, how many times did the money go from one black business hand to another black in Baltimore? Can you tell me that?
Well,
you cannot do it. Nobody else right now. So every dollar, see, if your money's not bouncing at least 8 to 12 times, every dollar you spend in Baltimore, and it does not go into another black hand, and does not go passed around at least 8 to 12 times, you flush another $11 down the toilet.
Dr. Anderson, this is Brother Minister Dennis Ausar Winkler, and I thank you for joining the show today. I do have a question as well. The question I have is, the whole thing about capitalism. You speak about capitalism, and you say we don't understand capitalism. Now, this is a question I've always had for you. Does the capitalism that you speak of, as it pertains to the black community, look different? Now, of course, I read your book, and I could come up with what I think, but I like to hear from your mouth. Does it look any different than what Europeans are practicing? And if it does or doesn't, why or why not?
You mean with their practicing overseas?
Any capitalism anyway, the capitalism that you're suggesting that we practice as a black community, does it look different than the current capitalists, the way that they're practicing it currently?
Well, let's use some closer examples right around here. See, for instance, let's make it a microcosm. Let's take a black city, and I'll show you what I mean, and give it a more graphic example. If I let's take Detroit, Michigan. Detroit, Michigan, right now has community. That's a 90%. Well, it's a 90% black city, a 90% black city. But in that city, guess what? In that city, that Arabs alone control 90% of all the gas stations, grocery stores, party stores, liquor stores, and discount stores in a black city, and that's called Dearborn. Now, those Arab merchants come out, and they suck the money out of the city of Detroit every day. But they practice capitalism. They come out and they sell to black folk. They do not buy anything from black people. You got a Mexican town there. You got an Asian town, Chinatown, Pole town, Hockey town, and Cork town, and a Greek town, but you don't have a black town. So nobody brings money into the community. And see, consequently, everybody is profiteering off of black folk and taking black folks' money. What does that mean now? That means that typically everybody in Detroit, Michigan, in microcosm, just like it is around the world, and microcosm, everybody in Detroit now, except black folk, are living off of 2 incomes in Detroit. And the same thing is true in Baltimore. In Detroit, that means the whites there and all those other immigrant groups, they're living off of 2 incomes. They live off of 100% of their money and 97% of black folks' money. Because black folks do not spend, they keep less than 2% of the money in their own hands and put it in the hands of black folk. But you would never in your lifetime, and if you do, you take a picture of it, show me examples where where an Arab or Hispanic or Chinese or a Filipino would come into or a Vietnamese would come into a black neighborhood, go into a black store and buy from black folk and leave all that money there. And if you and then on a Saturday morning and get up on a Saturday morning and go out to a black neighborhood and buy from something produced by black folk, they don't do it. But what we do, we get up on a Saturday morning and every day and go out, drive out to a white store, go down to the harbor, go into all the restaurants and drop our money. And what you do there is you cheat your own family, your own group, because once you take that money out of your hand and put it in their hand, you're empowering them. You're empowering them financially to go back home to their respective communities, and come out, leave your neighborhood, go to their respective communities, and pay for their home mortgage, send their kids to college, pay for their college education, buy food and clothes for their family. And what happens to those black kids who now you just flushed $11 out of every dollar you spend goes down the toilet? And the same thing is true now. I go to any city or any country. I have spoken in Cuba, in Africa, in Germany, France, England, Korea, and I've spoken almost all around the world. And I have not seen anybody that's sufficiently going out and spending the same amount of money in black communities buying black products. That's why every day I get calls and messages from blacks out of London, Paris, even Ethiopia, Cameroon, Nigeria, South Africa, Montreal, 3 Caribbean islands. They want me to come down to Jamaica and Virgin Islands to talk about it. The money doesn't bounce back to black folk. Once it leaves, it's gone. Because we're not practicing group economics, and we don't practice group politics. Nobody's rushing. Now, if you go out to your neighborhoods, go in your neighborhood. You can pick up stores in there. You might have a few McDonald's or Burger Kings that blacks have franchise. That money doesn't stay in the black community. It goes right back to the major headquarters for those franchisers. And the few stores you got now, like in our seafood factory, I had about 14. One fellow in Baltimore. He's speaking up for about 14 restaurants he had up in Baltimore. They wanted to buy fish. They could never pull it together. Could even come down and buy fish. I was one of the biggest seafood producers in the United States, the biggest black one probably on the earth. I was producing over 1 million pounds of fish a year, 1 million pounds, and out of a full year, 7 years to be exact, putting out 1 million pounds of fish. And guess what? I sold exactly 40 fish to black folk in 7 years out of 7 million pounds. We're not practicing, we're not playing the game in capitalism. Owning, controlling the tools, the resources, and the land, and using other people's labor to enrich yourselves. Where are we doing it, Marcus?
Well, that's a good question, and what I could point to, Dr. Anderson, is here the Conscious Black Business Network, and some other things that we have going on. The Winkleverster Group and Temple of African Thought, and even other institutions that are locally in our area here, Dr. Anderson. Land of Kush and Everyone's Place, and the list goes on and on and on. Where there is an economic network, with our people and to empower our people and to sustain our people. But nevertheless, your points are definitely well received and understood, because we definitely have a lot of work to do, and there's definitely some group economics that we definitely need to put into play. And with what you have shared, I've been a student of your work, and there's some concepts that you speak about in your books, and two of those concepts that you speak about are vertical integration and ethno aggregation.
Right. Those are two excellent ones. And see, and I know that you all are trying in Baltimore, and I congratulate you.
This service is provided in high definition by freeconferencecallhd.com. This conference is being recorded. Q&A session started.
Dominate in businesses. Wherever you dominate in population, where you're the majority population, or you dominate and you're the majority where you spend your money in your spending patterns. Now let's take a couple of them. I mentioned seafood. Why would I go and try to build a foundational industry for black folk across America in seafood? For a very simple Powernomics principle is that we eat 3 to 4 times more seafood than any other group. At that when I started off, we eat. That's where we dominate in consumption of seafood. White people like red meat and blood meat. Seafood was an ideal business and industry for black folk. And what black folk had to do, as you asking about, is do vertical integration. Could try to control every aspect of that industry from the bottom to the top, or what I say, from the boat to the throat. Where you go in and you go in and you
If you'd like to ask a question, please press 1. Your request has been received.
up from the production and the aquaculture farms and factory of raising the fish, you go to the next level. You start distributing. Then the next level from that is warehousing.
You may now ask your question.
Next top is retailing, and that's why I was trying to get blacks and go into the restaurant business and talking to Red Lobster when they're going to sell off a lot of their restaurants. And at that time, Clarence Otis, who was a black guy, president of Darden Restaurants, I want to try to pick up some of those restaurants for black folks so they can get to the top when you have a vertical order. And that means you develop product loyalty, and you can maintain control of the raw materials and go straight up. And you create levels of businesses, starting with the production level at the bottom, going to the warehousing, the wholesaling, retailing, all the way up. But again, that's why I want the black restaurants in Baltimore to buy the fish, so they can control the industry. Then you can see, once you control the industry, then you got power. But unfortunately, guess what? Out of all the millions of pounds of fish I was raising, I just indicated to you that blacks bought 40 fish, 40, out of about 6 or 7 million. And guess you know what's buying the fish? Asians. And so now Asians have now taken over, and Asians are now dominating the seafood industry. Let's take another one, black hair care. See, black hair care, because we are the dominant population in having the raw materials. Nobody else has our hair but us. We should be controlling it vertically, the hair care industry, from the bottom to the top. But we don't. Guess who controls it? Is the Asians and Koreans in particular. Koreans get 85 cents out of every dollar that black folks spend in hair care. That we're buying all the. They're buying out all the barber shops and the beauty shops and controlling that. They're also producing and manufacturing all the processing, the application of products and chemicals and everything else and oils that goes with the hair. They're also controlling the wigs and toupee industry that goes with it. And they got the nail shops. So they are now controlling black hair care from the bottom to the top. Not black folk. Black folk not getting the money. Black folk are getting their nails polished, getting their hair cut.
Dr. Anderson, so I know I asked a question, and I just want to know if is it too late for us? Is it too?
No, it's not. No, and I don't. And please don't let me give you that impression this night. I need millions and millions of blacks like you who are bright, who are committed, who are conscious, and really want to try to do something. We can do it. We can do it. If we can just somehow find the strength to learn to come together as a team. Racism is a team sport. You have to play as a team, or you lose by default. Just like football, baseball, and basketball. Those are team sports. And I've struggled all my life to get black people. I'm telling you, play as a team. Asians and Arabs play as a team. Jews play as a team. But I cannot get blacks to play for a team because I got a whole bunch of civil rights leaders and ministers who keep telling black folk that somehow God has commissioned them to save the world before they save themselves, and identify with other people before they identify with other black folk, and to find confidence, satisfaction in buying from other people rather than their own people, or even hiring other people before they hire their own people. It's an uphill job, and they need millions of blacks like you all to say, hold it, we're going to change this game. We're going to learn to play the game just like everybody else plays it. You understand my point?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well taken.
And so we're going to start playing the game. We're going to start acting as a team. And one of the things that I've been working on is once I can raise the capital, is I want to have a convocation. Okay. I want to have a convocation coming up, maybe this coming year, convention. And then right now I got maybe about 30,000 or 40,000 blacks who've already sort of pre-registered want to be there. Well, we're going to plan it for either Washington, D.C., Atlanta, Georgia, or Chicago. Well, we're going to have Powernomics workshops running it 4 days straight. We're going to come and learn how to do all these things and having all kinds of speakers, maybe 8 or 9 workshops running concurrently.
Mm-hmm.
where they're learning. It's a workshop, so they actually work with paper and pencil and learn how to do these kind of things. And also they learn how to start setting up networks across the country and how to raise the capital to run the businesses. We have endowments where they'll help them find the money to build these businesses and to build these communities and establish a code of conduct. And we'd like to pull that off sometime this year, maybe in August. But again, I got to raise the money to be able to pull it off, to hire a group that would do all the planning for us. But we can do it. We can do it. We might not be the smartest people in the world, but we're not stupid. We can do it.
Hey, so Dr. Anderson, we would definitely. In fact, I was thinking about what you just said. I was saying to myself that one of the things we had planned was an event just like that. However, we don't have to recreate the wheel if someone such as yourself is already doing it. And we'll be interested in finding out how we can also be involved with that as well, because definitely I was going to ask you about an event that we have planned coming up the next 2 years or so, if you would be willing to actually in a year next year we have an event planned that we're in the preliminary stages of putting on. But definitely we would like to see if we can be involved. Definitely there's another event that I've been to that's very powerful. I spoke to you about this event before, and one thing you told me was that now this event was powerful, but I know that when I come to your event is not going to be sponsored. It's going to be about Black people. That's one thing you told me one time when I saw you about 2 years ago in D.C. About 2 years ago. So definitely it's going to be about Black people.
Well, right. Well, see, and the question you just asked, not only can you be, you're going to have to be a part of what we're doing. I want every Black I can get my hands on to be a part of it. Everybody's going to be in a role for everybody. And that's why I've already made arrangements. We're going to have Blacks coming in from the Caribbean, some and a lot of them, and from ECOWAS, the Black ministers and financial ministers from Africa. We may have mix and match sessions where they're going to come in and bring their resources, sit down with Blacks and go into business and set up business networks that spans not only across America but also into Africa and the Caribbean. Where we're going to develop businesses. We're going to put Blacks who got the resources and the skills, and with the Africans who got the resources and intelligence and interest. We're going to build these conglomerates where we can also produce resources. And as a matter of fact, there's an article coming out about this the Cameroon people have been over. They've got 2 big magazines that's coming out on this and going around Africa. And they asked me if I would be a speaker for the African Unity annual meeting in June in Ethiopia. I told them I can't go do all that traveling anymore. But we can do it, and see, you're all going to be intimately involved. Just hold your resources. We got to figure out how to pull everybody together. And I'm trying to get everybody sensitive to our doing it as a team. And as a matter of fact, the plan is already laid out. There's a very comprehensive plan. Everything about what the business we're going to be targeting. As an example, we're going to be targeting 12 Black cities, and Baltimore will be one of them. We're going to build a Black business district in those cities. I mean, that's everything from Baltimore to Gary, Indiana, Chicago, Philadelphia, Pittsburgh, St. Louis, Kansas City, New Orleans. We're going to build a Black business district. And each one of those districts are going to have something like 1,200 Black businesses in them. All the kind of business based on what Black folk need and what they can buy from their own people and buy from their own people first. They're not going to hate anybody and be against anybody. They're going to learn how to economically compete, just like they do in across America. When I go out to California, they got Chinatowns, Frenchtown, Germantown, pole towns, hockey towns, Little Saigon, Little Korea, Little Havanas, Little Hialeah. They got Little Italy's, Greek towns, but you can't find a Black town in the place. We're going to play the same game and buy from our own people, set our own people, and provide jobs and business opportunities for them where they can build wealth and power just like everybody else and be a competitive group.
Well, Dr. Anderson, appreciate
what I want you all to do, just stay in touch with us. Give us another couple of months for me to try to find out to get some very wealthy Black entertainer, football player, basketball player. Some of these people that want to make a donation to the Harvest Institute. We have to raise the capital to be able to contract a professional planning group to actually do the work for the planning for the convention. But everything has been drawn up across this country. And as I said, I can't even tell you how many thousands of people that are ready.
Is there any way, Dr. Anderson, for people to be able to pre-register, perhaps, or do you have any information?
Send us an email to the Harvest Institute, and that's what we're gonna do. And we got to try to raise the capital and do all that, because we got groups out in California that's been ready for all this to move in. We got everything, how we're gonna raise the capital and everything. But that's for the actual building the businesses. But the first thing we got to do is get the capital to get a contracted group to start putting all the planning together, because you have to tie down all the hotels. You got to plan it. And the last time I did any planning like this was for the Atlanta Convention in 1988, but I had a $26 million budget where I had to plan for 50,000 people to be coming from around the world for the presidential election. And we took us a year and a half to 2 years to plan it in Atlanta, because I had to know every hotel within 50 miles of Atlanta, all the restaurants, flower services, have limousines and cabs and everything you can think of. It won't take that kind of money. We're gonna need somewhere maybe a couple of $250,000. And all these blacks now they're bragging about they got 500 and 600 pair of shoes because they have pip ditties and all the rest of them. Why don't they put some of that money into the Harvest Institute? We can do it.
Well, how can they get in contact with you? I know you mentioned send you an email. What's the contact information that you could give to the people tuning in so that way they could connect?
See, I'm always on the road. That's why I say they have to go through the Harvard. Can you just go to www.harvest institute and send us an email? www.harvestinstitute.org.
Okay. So there's a contact form.
www.harvestinstitute.org. And just send us an email. We'll respond to you and call back, and we appreciate it. If you can't do anything for the Harvest Institute or help us do it, that's okay. We still love you. We ain't going to be mad with you.
Okay. So there's a contact form on the Harvest Institute, I'm assuming.
Yeah, and you can send emails through it. And it's also, if anybody wants to make donations, they can go through PayPal. PayPal is linked up to the Harvest Institute. That is the only major subsidy black economically developed company that's committed, or think tank that's committed to the empowerment of black folks financially, economically, and wealth building in this country.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you, Dr. Anderson. I know that I spoke to your wonderful wife, your queen, and she told us not to keep you too long. I didn't know if you perhaps had a moment, maybe somebody may want to ask you a question or something like that.
Right. Well, she knows I'm overloaded with things right now, and that's why she wants to do that. But but you all can do it, and I just love you all, and just go ahead and continue to discuss the things I said to you. Stay in contact with you, and start letting blacks all over the country know that we are special people, and tell them the key to this, the absolute key to our being able to survive. Go back to your initial question. The key to our survival is exceptionalism. We are exceptional people. There's nobody in this on this earth, or nobody in America like black folk. We have. Did you hear Obama bragging about America as an exceptional nation? And he said, and therefore in the United States, because we're an exceptional nation, we deserve special benefits and treatment and respect. And by exceptional, he's talking about because of our democratic voting power and our open doors to immigrants. Well, see, black people are an exception within an exception. There's nobody that's any better and more exceptional than black folk. We've been treated like no other group. Nobody else has been shut down, enslaved, Jim Crow segregated, denied the right to vote, denied the family, denied the resources, denied land, denied humanity, treated as 3/5 of a human being. And I mean, I can go on and name all of them. We're the most patriotic people in the nation. We're the only people that's fought in every war in this country and whose mother country has never been at war with the United States. Black folk are 99% of all the black people in America are the direct descendants of slaves. That means they were here before 99% of all the other people ever arrived. You are special people. So stop all these civil rights groups and all these politicians, but I don't care whether it's NBC or on the Fox channel, they keep putting you in the groups called minorities and poor folk and people of color and multicultural. And with that adds insult to injury. None of these groups, the gays, nobody else can be treated like black folk. Black folks should be put into a protected class because of exceptionality. And that means you cannot. I wrote the affirmative action plan, for instance, the first one in 1970, went all over the country. I didn't write the affirmative action plan for minorities and poor folk and people in color, midgets, humpbacks, and lesbians. I wrote it for black folk.
I say.
And so so tell them I'll put you in these broad categories that you're exceptional people. That is the key. The exceptionality is black folk. That is your pathway to empowerment. As long as you tell people that you're special people, you're the oldest people in this country, you're the only people that built it, that picked the cotton, the tobacco, and the rice, and the indigo. You're the one that built the bridges, the highways, and the roads. You're the one that built all the government buildings, whether it's the Capitol, the Washington Monument, anything, the Statue of Liberty. You built all this stuff. You are the special people. Everybody else here is an immigrant. An immigrant is a guest. Black folk are not guests in this country. You are special people. You walk on sacred ground, paid for by the blood, sweat, and tears of millions of black cotton pickers and janitors and cooks and waiters and butlers. And don't let them put you in any broad categories. Don't put me in a category with minorities and poor folk and people of color. You are special people. And we're going to come out of this thing. We're going to stick together. We're going to play as a team, and we're going to win.
That's right. That's right. Well, Dr. Anderson, we, most certainly, appreciate you, being on our show at the Conscious Black Business Network radio show. And we look forward to continuing to work together in different ways, in different regards. So be expecting to hear from us, Dr. Anderson, and we definitely, wish you and your family all the best, and we love you back.
Right, and I love you all, and I'm gonna miss y'all, and y'all stay in touch with us and try to and tell people we got to be in a fundraising cycle. We got to get money, and we got to do it quickly so we can get everything. We got about 8 to 9 months to do all this planning for a special event in the second week in August. We got to get together and raise the capital to hire and contract convention planners, a highly professional group to do all the planning. Because right now, as I said, we can't invite all the people, can't forbid most of them to come, but already we got about 40,000 people already registered and want to come. And so what I need, we're gonna cut it down, way down, to be able to accommodate all these people. But I just want to let you all know that. But if you know anybody, any wealthy blacks, influential blacks that got big money, tell them we are the Harvest Institute is a tax exempt nonprofit institute. Any money that they donate can be written off their taxes. And see, that's one thing. Whites don't pay a lot of taxes. They give to charitable organizations, so they get a note saying they don't owe any taxes. And our people rather pay the taxes than to support somebody that's fighting for them. So tell them all to contribute to the Harvest Institute, and we're going to come out fighting and hopefully have a good session that's going to bring in people from around the world into the United States, and we're going to practice geopolitics and geoeconomics.
All right. Okay.
Okay. You all have a pleasant evening. I love you both of you. And I'm sorry. I know I didn't talk. I talked so long. I didn't talk to any of the listeners, but apologize for me in that respect, and hang tough and keep your head up and don't bow your head for being black.
Ashe. Thank you, Dr. Anderson.
Thank you, Dr. Anderson.
All right, thank you. Have a good evening.
Take
now.
care.
Peace and power.
Okay, you too. Peace and power.
Woo. So, Brother Cove, how was that, brother?
It was a powerful exchange. Being able to talk to Baba, an elder, and to be able to just be reminded of the work that has to be done. But it was definitely felt good, Minister Ausar, for him to conclude that the victory is ours to get, it's ours to obtain, and we will be victorious. And we will push through and make this thing happen. So I feel pretty good after that, Minister Ausar.
Ashe, because brother, I'm not gonna lie, I'm so excited that we had Dr. Anderson on, because there's a lot of things that one could, just think about, or just conjecture or just believe, just by what you hear and so forth. So I think we got a lot of clarifying questions today, and I'm excited about his responses. I'm excited that that we know that the time that is not too late. The brother said is not too late. He said that we can win. I think that was powerful, right? He said we can win, and that's definitely true, brothers and sisters. Because this is what I've already known, that we can win. But just hearing it from Dr. Anderson, we can add on to that 2013 thing. We know we still have time, and I'm really excited about this event that he's talking about. Family, if you want to join in on the conversation with Brother Sankofa and I, just want to talk about what Baba, Dr. Anderson just spoke about, just go ahead and push *6 right now. If you want to go ahead and we can open your lineup. You can join in on the conversation, add to it, whatever. Push *6 and then push 1 push *6 and then push 1. Look like we have a caller. Let's open the line up, Brother Sankofa. Is that? Let's do that.
Muted.
Sure thing.
Oh, I think I may have done something
Peace,
incorrect.
brothers. My name is Nathaniel. I'm just wondering in terms of setting up the conference. It feels a little bit in terms of organizing like a Million Man.
Unmuted.
Why not leverage technology, to do something online, a web event, offer courses online, create marketplace online. That might cost $5,000-$10,000. I do web development myself. I've got PR people. I mean, that's something that's executable, within 3 months to have set up, an online academy, online marketplace. We're actually circulating dollars and we're leveraging the internet.
Well, you calling, brother? Can you hear me?
Okay.
Could you do
Yes.
Could you do something for me? I appreciate your call. Could you I'm not sure if you stated your name, where you're calling from, and just tell us who you are. Your company, whatever. Go ahead.
Okay. All right. Yes, my name is Nathaniel. I'm calling from Massachusetts. I'm you call a freelancer. I do web development, websites. I do project management. I'm working on a couple of mobile game apps because that's where a lot of the money is, mobile game apps.
Okay.
So that's what I do, and I'm a serial entrepreneur out of Western Massachusetts.
Okay. Not a problem. Sounds great.
Right.
Sounds powerful, brother. I would personally ask you to if you could inbox us or send us your information. I'm not sure how you heard about the show tonight, but definitely I like to get in contact with you myself. I do a lot of online things and so on and so forth. So I do understand the power of media. This is Brother Minister Ausar here. So if you could inbox us, brother, I don't know if you have a pen or whatever, if you already have our information, but if you could inbox me your information, I would definitely like to reach out to you.
Sure. Yeah, and I'm also connected with you on Facebook. If you give me your inbox, I'll give you the email address.
Okay, so I'll give you CBB Network. That's CBB Network. So that's Conscious Black Business Network.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
1@gmail.com. If you can send it CBB Network at Gmail. 1@gmail.com. Because definitely that's what we do. We teach real estate. We teach people how to invest in real estate. I'm not sure if you're aware of that. And we've been going over the internet. We've been doing some streams. We've been getting into a lot of things. So yeah. So definitely that's a powerful thing. So you're suggesting that that maybe we should do something like this, or from what Dr. Anderson was speaking about, we should maybe make this an online or do it via an online platform rather than live, and saying that it's easier that way. What are you suggesting?
Absolutely. I'm saying that, let's be creative. We live in the age of technology, where it's, the barrier to holding a convention is cost, is logistics, versus setting something up online, and you can have an online community. No disrespect to the efforts of a Million Man March, but are all those million people that march, are they all part of the same private social network where they're circulating dollars and they're supporting businesses? So that's more of a sustainable, engaged effort where I'm saying that it's a path that I encourage people to always consider in terms of looking at the obstacles, look at how you can do it creatively, and that's more sustainable. Because if you create a marketplace, you can gamify your interaction where you have people that are supporting and you have cash circulating. Since we live really in a borderless. The internet is without borders, so you can create a community where, like I know there's We Buy Black, and there's a couple of online marketplaces out there right now that are engaged in these efforts. But something that's really sustainable. And I've already started working on efforts in this area. And I just see the big opportunity to have a tangible impact on what we want to do in terms of blacks in America. It is. I think it would yield more benefit than even holding a convention or holding a rally.
Okay.
Think of it in terms of us having our own small Facebook.
Is there?
we're pro- we're promoting commerce, what have you, and those things are easy to build nowadays.
Let me ask you this: where's is there an example that you can point to evidence that this is there other groups? Are there other examples of something of this magnitude happening strictly online, or is this something that you envision through your research and so on and so forth, or is there an example of this actually working in other communities?
All right, so I would not be able to give you specific examples in terms of other ethnic groups, but if you look at it in terms of other business industries that create their own marketplace and own community for education, um, let me go. Let me think, because I know they're out there. I mean, the same way that if you wanted to learn a technology, SAP, right,
Mm-hmm.
where you are already skill set, you've got a marketplace that where you're learning how to apply those skills, and then you're going to get jobs, and then they have advertising for support services around those. So I mean, it's not a foreign concept. It's just leveraging it, to a different a different market.
Right. Because I mean, I'm thinking that you're suggesting something really, really large. I mean, I've been through a lot of online workshops, classes, boot camps. Actually, 20. I've been through a 24-hour like workshop where they had different speakers come on and so on and so forth. And I'm just wondering, is there going to be this missing element? Just the missing element of people being there, being able to communicate. I'm just wondering if that's going to take place. But not only that, I'm just wondering how big and will we be excluding a certain segment of the population? What do you think about that?
Well, think of this in terms of, I'm going to just use an analogy, in terms of engaging on Facebook, right?
Mm-hmm.
You can have different workshops that are being recorded, and people have chat integration, their own profiles, and they're interacting with each other just like they're on a private Facebook group.
Mm-hmm.
You can build out, you can build out your own social network to do that, really relatively cheap. And then you have content that you can repurpose, and then so people can be attending this workshop that you provide live, 3 years from now on real estate investment, on creating gateways and barriers to your community. So it's just so just that the technology part out there is just Facebook, LinkedIn, these networks already prove that in terms of the engagement model, the people that there will be a segment of population that are just used to to going to a meeting, but there's a large enough segment of us right now in terms of that are used to social media where this is where the significant benefit can come, because we're all also think in this terms. The people that are going to be engaging you on these communities are people that are most likely inclined to make online purchases. So like I supported people that do like natural personal care products. I'll try different vendors from Facebook that I meet and buy products and what have you. I do that on a consistent basis. If I had I see that people are marketing like laundry detergent and stuff like that. I haven't had the chance to try all of their products, but if there was if there was literally I'm giving away a lot of secret sauce. I mean,
you're giving away a lot of secrets.
You're
over there. You're over there. You're like, oh my god, am I giving this amount of information? You're having large size here, so you don't have to worry about giving it all out. But nonetheless,
no. It's okay, because really it's to the universe. So literally, if anyone is able to execute this, because vision comes from spirit, and it belongs to all of us, and that is it's a mindset that that's opposite to colonialism.
Well, that's some good stuff there.
This is what I'm putting on the table right now.
Okay. Well, we thank you for that. We thank you for that. In other words, it sounds to me like you're saying, well, if someone can make this happen, I'll be happy. If someone can make this happen, our community will be a better place. So even if I can't make it happen on my own, if someone takes this and makes it happen with the right heart, the right mind, this would benefit our people and is greater and is larger and is bigger than myself.
Absolutely. In fact, I will work with and meet with And I have an extremely talented individuals, I mean, in project management, PR, in the DC, Maryland area, Florida. I mean, that are at top of their game,
Hmm.
that are now somewhere looking towards, engaging in entrepreneurial endeavors. And I've been a serial entrepreneur all my life.
Well, brother,
So this is,
Brother Nathaniel, we thank you for that, brother, and we thank you for doing that. Just make sure you go ahead and send us a message. I'd like to connect with you and talk a little bit more about this myself and see what kind of things we can do together and move from here. We thank you for tuning in. Stay connected with us, family. Go register on Facebook. Go to Conscious Black Business Network Studios if you haven't done so already. And also go to Conscious Black Business Network, the private group, exclusive group, so that we can keep this thing going. So go there, and when you go to the Conscious Black Business Network Studios, I want you to go ahead and turn on the notices, accept our notices, because we're just moving from Blog Talk, and we appreciate you guys taking your time with us today, because we had a little rough start because this is our first day, trying to put 3 or 4 things together at one time, running our own stream online and so on and so forth. It's not quite as easy, it's not quite as cookie cutter as you probably know, Brother Nathaniel, as it is on a Blog Talk show. However, there's a much greater thing to do than, just go through Blog Talk Network. We have a lot more freedom, a lot more, just a lot more freedom and range and so on and so forth. And we also, if anyone wants to become a part of the Conscious Black Business Network, bring your own show on here, so on and so forth, give us a call or reach out to us, hit us up in any of these groups I told you about. The email that we gave earlier, and that is that is cbbnetwork1@gmail.com. So, Brother Nathaniel, thank you for the call, brother. You take care.
thank you very much, sir.
So, family, Brother Sankofa, what's going on, brother? I know we I'm going to say our seminal show on Conscious Black Business Network or consciousblackbusiness.com. We had a few bumps in the road, but I want to thank you, brother, for holding it down, because I think you spoke for about probably a half an hour before anyone could probably hear you. You were getting it in, huh? The family missed a lot of that stuff, but nonetheless, brother, what you got to say, man? What's going on? What's going on in your mind?
Well, it's these shows here. I'm not gonna lie, family. They rejuvenate me. They charge me up. They pump me up. They motivate me. When I are able to hear you, Minister Ausar, and the other brothers, Brother Montu, Brother Tyron, the good energy that we get from those calling in, it makes me feel good. And I was laughing internally, Minister Ausar, because when you had mentioned to me that I wasn't heard, I said, "Oh, that stuff I said."
Wow.
I mean, I was getting into a lot of different things in terms of what we have going on, things that people can expect to see from us in the near future. It's all the wonderful things that are going on.
So go ahead and talk about some of that. But
Sure.
Brother Ty, but let you know this, Brother Ty Easy, the young gunner, is in the studio, and he does want to say something to the people as well. But I don't know if you want to go ahead now, or you want to let Brother Ty Easy come in and come back. How it's your call, brother.
Sure. Well, Brother Ty Easy, can get on the mic and say his piece, and I could come back, on the back end and say what I have to say.
Ty Easy, come on, man. Don't act quiet now, man. You're up in the studio, multitasking, helping the brother out. So I want to thank Brother Ty Easy again from coming in here, helping me out with the technology and getting on the mic. What's going on, brother?
Oh, man, peace and blessings, family. Peace and blessings. Being on the it's like it's my first show, being here in the studio, live and direct. It's a revigorating experience being here, speaking with people, speaking with the Bible, Claud Anderson. The callers, the listeners, y'all all, amazing people, and y'all all inspired me. And today's topic is, is very important. It's is very needed. I think that's why I study economics. It's very key for our people. I mean, in my opinion, in the 21st century. And that convention, I would definitely like to see that happen. I mean, some type of way, some type of form of fashion. It's because it's very much needed. I mean, my experience, that online community piece, it can be a secondary option. It can be a secondary option, especially if we got a lot of speed bumps. Having that type of convention. You know what I mean? Because you got to have the hotel rooms and the flights or whatever. However, people are traveling to get there. That can be a perfect, secondary option. And I don't have too much to say, but yeah, it's an invigorating experience being here.
So you just wanted to let the family know that you're alive. You just wanted to get out there and test the mic out. You just wanted to get out there and get a little piece of that. You wanted to be on the same show with Dr. Claud. Is that what it is? You wanted your voice on the same track, right?
Yeah, I guess.
Oh, that's legendary, huh?
Yeah, it's pretty legendary.
All right. And brother Sanko, for the brother Taizi again, he came through. He dropped some things. So what's going on, brother Kof? What's going on, man?
Well, as I was stating earlier, my brother, there's a number of things that are taking place, what I mentioned, one of the things I mentioned earlier was that the Winkler Investor Group, the entity that we are a part of, and, the entity that, is in the community to be able to empower our people economically, tangibly. We're going to be having a real estate investing workshop coming up Saturday, January 30th, 2016, from 10 o'clock to 2 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So, you'll be able to, invest in real estate without cash, credit, qualifying loans, or even a job. And it's going to take place at 23 East North Avenue, Baltimore, Maryland, 21202 at Unit L3 on the lower level. And it's going to be live, HD streaming. It's going to be live. So if you can't make it out, we got you covered. We got your back. You still can be able to tune in, and it'll be just like you're there in the flesh. So definitely take advantage of the opportunity. It's a free event, but seating is limited. So register right now, ASAP. And you can go on to the website, right, Minister Ausar? To the website, people can go there and be able to register.
You can go to you can go to this website, consciousblackbusiness.com. Go to the events and calendars. Look on the date. You can look on the calendar. And the date will be the 30th of January. And you can click that 30th January's event. Click on there, then register. You can also go to WinklerInvestorGroup.com. And you can also do the same exact thing. So, family, just go ahead and do that. In this event, Brother Sankofa is talking about, we're going to be teaching people how to invest in real estate without cash, credit, qualifying loans, or a job. Come on now. It's a come up. It can be a come up. You know what I'm saying? So, if you want to learn how to invest in real estate without cash, credit, qualifying loans, or a job, you got to get with us. There's no fluff. No bluff, none of that type of thing. So call us again before we close this show out today. If you want to get in on the conversation, push *6, and then push 1. But go ahead, Brother Sankofa.
Sure thing. So, definitely as Minister Ausar and I stated, take advantage of the opportunity because this right here can lead you on a road to success to be economically empowered and free. So definitely take advantage of that opportunity. We've been talking a couple weeks at this point about the memorial service of Dr. Francis Cress Welsing, but just a reminder and an update to all those who may not know who are tuning in. The memorial service for Dr. Francis Cress Welsing has been postponed, and that's due to anticipated inclement weather. But nevertheless, it's still going to take place, and it's been pushed back to Saturday, March 19th. From 1 o'clock p.m. to 4 o'clock p.m. at the Metropolitan African Methodist Episcopal Church, located at 1518 M Street, Northwest Washington, D.C., 20005. So that's the address, and that's the date and the time and location of the memorial service for our beloved ancestor, Dr. Francis Cress Welsing. But nevertheless, as we always state once again, We're doing a lot of things also at the forefront in terms of Temple and New African thought. So each and every Sunday at 11 o'clock a.m. At 23 East North Avenue, Baltimore, Maryland, 21202, you can be able to get with us. That's where we meet, and we have messages of empowerment. We study, we pay homage to our ancestors, and we just fellowship like family. We fellowship like family, all with the purpose, mission, and aim to reinforce African principles and to continue to grow in our culture. Definitely, come out and check us out on Sundays. We're doing a lot of wonderful things. And as you said, Minister Ausar, I'll just reiterate once again, we have the Conscious Black Business Network radio show, which is what everybody's tuning into right now at this time. And next Thursday, we're going to be honored to have Sister Eartha Harris, the entrepreneur, businesswoman, event promoter, radio personality, representative of the people, and the founder of Tight Knit Network. Tight Knit Movement. She's going to be on our show next Thursday. So continue to stay connected, family. Continue to be down with us, because we definitely are about empowering our people.
Sister Eartha is a treat, brother.
Yes, and they're in for a treat, aren't they, Minister Ausar?
I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to get a word in when the sister comes, but definitely the sister is she's an elder, but I definitely got to tell you, she looks good. You know what I mean? She's healthy. She's actually running for office here in Baltimore. She has a good mind when it comes to business. Family, you definitely want to. So what I'm saying is, she looks good, but she's an elder, so she comes with that wisdom, that finesseful. The finesse. I'm messing the word all up. I can do this after 9 o'clock every time. I know how to mess words up. I'm going to just say finesse and wisdom. You know what I'm saying? I can't put the extra suffixes on the end of the words after 9 o'clock, brother.
Definitely, she's definitely going to come with much finesse and much wisdom. And, she's been out here in the field, so she has a lot of experience, working with our people. And as we said, once again, she is the facilitator of all that's done regarding the tight-knit movement. That's the movement that she's a part of. She's going to come and speak to a lot of different empowering things next Thursday. So stay tuned, stay posted, family. So that's what we got going on, Minister Ausar. That's what we got going on.
Yeah, powerful stuff, brother. So again, family, if you want to call in, you want to talk to us right now, just push *6. Push *6 right now. If you're on the, in fact, if you're listening through the radio, let's do this. If you're tuning in and you're listening through the internet radio, you can call this number. This number is 641-715-3570, and then you can push 618-185 to join the conference, and then once you get on, push *6 and 1. So if you're already on the conference, just go ahead and push *6 right now, and then it's going to say push 1 to talk to Brother Sankofa and myself. So again, Brother Sankofa, I just think that it was a powerful show. Dr. Claud Anderson definitely dropped a lot of good science, and I just think it was a good show, man. I appreciate all your hard work in getting this brother on. There's a lot to come. There's a lot to come in the future. With this platform here, share, family, share with your friends what we have going on here. We're going to be talking about a lot of powerful things here. We're going to be talking about business, Conscious Black Business Network. We say, where everything is business, everything affects your bottom line, your relationships, your health, your everything, your diet, because from an African centered point of view, we realize that nothing is disconnected. Rather, everything is connected. So, family, Brother Sankofa, is there anything else you must say before you go? If not, brother, I'm telling you, Dr. Claud Anderson already dropped it. There's no reason for me to continue the conversation. The elder has spoken. So what I'll do, brothers and sisters, I'll just go ahead and, call it a night.
I would say I shaded that, Minister. So I second you on that. There's not much needs to be added. We heard from Dr. Claud Anderson, and we definitely have been empowered and heard from the most distinguished elders. So I'm with you on that, Minister Ausar. Not much is left that needs to be said.
All right, family. Before you go, listen. I got a treat. I have a treat for you. I want you guys to check out our a song we got here, the Temple of New African Thought, and you're gonna listen to it now. So let's see how that thing works, y'all. We're gonna try it.
Been a while.
Flow Express.
Done a little few changes, You see the logo, the Temple of New African Thought. Still have the same spirit. I'm saying that we're going to come even stronger.
New analog production.
Some youth behind the movement.
Temple of New African Thought.
We got the Bible in the line with the back.
Let's go.
Peace and power, we gotta get free. I am because we are because of me. Before there is a we, there has to be a me. Our ancestors showed us the light so that we could see spirituality, culture, and history. Temple of New African Thoughts gon' get the victory. If you ain't down with the movement, then don't pretend to be. Putting in work, we're destined to build a legacy. We need excellence in the community. Malcolm said consciousness precedes our unity. Theory with the application is what our people need. Africans standard all day, yeah, it's true indeed. You can catch us reading our books. Systematic oppression, they gonna get shook. It's the temple of TNAT. No time to be lazy, the war's on. Let's do it for our babies. Reppin' B-More, Tubman City. Our revolutionary soldiers, let's get busy.
Where y'all at?
Roll up your sleeves, stop trying to be pretty. Taking reparations now, keep the pit. Assembling bars to build a temple of new African thought. Stand tall, no lack of support. Theories put into actual practice of sport. Stand cold forever low with an accurate joint. Assembling bars to build a temple of new African thought. Stand tall, no lack of support. Theories put into actual practice of sport. FLO, stand cold for with an accurate joint.
I greet my peeps with peace and power, bro. We need relief from beef. The beast is powerful. Never mind them cowards. We out here to keep what's ours, though. Plant seed in the street and flower grow. Roots from the deepest earth. Peep the scientific speech with the way I teach with words. Our mission to reach high. We know what each deserves. Never mind the industry. We in the streets to serve. Yo, not customers, communities distributing gospel. Two brothers rhyme and rhythm apostles who attack the track, subtract the whack while taking you black to black on this mission impossible. Black intelligent minds at the table, free range food thought instead of the swine. Purpose, fill the basket, not a casket. Show them how to fish the farm, to get on your grind and limited time left. We living on hostile grounds. The whole hood's like a spiritual lost and found. For cotton money, the new boss around. Follow the hollow, it's lie, bottle swallow to wash it down. Return to your temple in order to reclaim your true relevant worth. A new heaven on earth in the name of your African savior. With ancestral thoughts to guide us to a new legacy birth.
Assembling bars to build a temple of new African thought. Stand tall, no lack of support. Theories put into actual practice of sport. Stand go forever low with an accurate joint. Assembling bars to build a temple of new African thought. Stand tall, no lack of support. Theories put into actual practice of sport. FLO, stand go for what an accurate joint. The war's on, what you gonna do? Talk reckless on Facebook and talk trash on YouTube. Liberation is a lifetime lifestyle. Black and brown people been victimized for a long while. Get to know yourself and the enemy. Wanna see how great we are? Study your history. Nation building's a must, most certainly. Temple of New African Thought is till eternity.
Form firm foundation through fellowship. Real conversation for liberation. The fake is irrelevant. Real media topics to open your optics. Education to grow your pockets, control your profits. Exercise mind, body, and soul. Daily vitamins from hymns. For your rides on the road, they say his story's history. My story's a mystery. Rewrite the chapter to reclaim the victory.
Assembling bars to build a temple of new African thought. Stand tall, no lack of support.
Let's build, brothers.
Put into actual practice of sport. Stand go for FLO with an accurate joint. Assembling bars to build a temple of new African thought. Stand tall, no lack of support. Theories put into actual practice of sport. FLO, stand go for with an accurate joint.
So, we might say, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to talk about it a little bit, this is up there, So, the Temple of New African Thought. What is this Temple of New African Thought? What does that mean? You might say, well, it's a new thought. Is there something new? Our ancestors have already laid down what we needed, right? You know. Or was it a new African? I say it's both.
Peace and blessings, family. So before we close out, family, I would just want to say, you know, powerful song, powerful movement. You're definitely in the treat. We're on the move, and family, we definitely thank you for tuning in with us today. And we don't take it for granted that you join us, and we're going to say peace and blessings, family. Tune in next week. Share with your friends. With no further ado, we're going to say peace and power.
The business of, the business of, well, it's the business of, the business of,
Media,
the business of,
Conscious
the
Black
business of,
Business Network.
it's the Conscious Black Business Network, the radio show brought to you by a radio flow. Call, chat, listen, and learn. Today you will know. Today we resume, so stay tuned to CBBN at 9 p.m. Minister Ausar with Brother Sankofa, giving what you demand most of. Propaganda that's proper. Network, then let's work together to live free and prosper. The business of love, the business of health, the business of wealth. It's the business of principle, the business of media, the business of conscious black business, the business of life, the business of love, the business of health, the business of wealth. It's the business of principle, the business of media, the business of conscious black business network.